Well, here we are. We are getting technical today, as promised. We've got the master behind me, fishing for squid. Today we're gonna show you a new product in Australia. We've got Chien from a new company with us, and he's gonna tell us all the tricks. So stay tuned and see exactly what's going to happen. You can't miss this one.
Hi everyone, I'm Chien. I'm one of the co-owners of Tsurio. Tsurio is one of the companies that create the unique jigs. So our jigs are artistically designed and made to perform super effectively. So our design, all hand designed, and it's actually copyrighted around the world. So we are very unique. It's different as to other companies as well. So what we do is that the jigs that we create is not only looks good, but it's very effective because we incorporate color science as well as different types of material to make it more effective, to create effects that actually target squid's different type of vision. So if you would like to look for our jigs, feel free to come to our website Tsurio.com to have a look at the range of the jigs that we have, as well as that we have a masterclass that is free on our website that you can learn through how you fish for squid as well. So feel free to check out our day today. We'll be showcasing how our effective jigs works. Before we start our squid fishing adventure, I'll teach you a bit of squid fishing. So what we need to know the basics. So before we even start squid fishing, we need to understand what is squid. So squid, we have to understand how they hunt as well as how they use their anatomy, different parts of the anatomy. So for their vision is the most crucial part because they are ambush predator. They hunt through their vision, they see and they attack. So squid have three types of vision. They see in black and white because they are colorblind, and they are able to see glow as well as they have a heightened sense that they can sense UV that we human eyes can't see. So by understanding that, we also know that how we're going to target their vision through enticing them to use jigs to make it more silhouette glow, or UV jigs to target their vision. So what we have to do is that to create our jig to become a silhouette to target their vision, all our jigs we need to make it from a colorful jigs to become this effect. So what we human eyes see is with color. This is what we see with color. But what we have to do is to understand how squid see. So they see in black and white. So this is their vision. So if you jig that if you can create a silhouette, it will stand out from the background with creating a contrast to different shade from the back and the foreground. So that way the squid can see your jig is more obvious. So for the squid glow vision, this is what our human eyes see. What our human eyes see is color, and this is what we'll see in the glow. But in the squid, they will see a bright glow at night. So at night, using a glow jig will be very effective because it creates a white glow, and the squid get enticed and curious. They come towards it and they'll attack it. So how do squid see in the deep sea? The colossal squid, they see through two types. One is the silhouette. So fish are silhouette they can see. That's why it's so deep and it's so dark, but yet they can still see it is because of the silhouette. And the other form is because of glow, because certain fish have the glow, so it attracts them to come towards it. Do you realize that white snapper or all different kind of big fish, they tend to be red in color? It's because that they can tend to hide themselves. Because of red color, they will create the best silhouette, and at night other fish could not see them and they become pure black with the background. That's why you see a lot of big fish tend to be red in color. The other vision that squid has is a UV vision. So our human eyes, this is what we see. But through a UV camera, we can mimic what the squid see in the UV. So this is what squid see. So if we put in a jig that we could create, put a UV coating on, actually the UV coating will absorb the UV and actually will create a silhouette called the UV silhouette. So from this lady, you can see, this is what you see normally in a normal photo. So if you put a coating of the sunscreen on her face, this is what you will see. Because the sunscreen is actually a UV coating, it absorbs the UV to protect our skin, and it reflects the light. And with that, a UV camera, we actually see that it's pure black. So with the squid, you can, with the UV light shine on, let's say the UV sunlight shine on the jig, you'll create a UV silhouette for the squid to see it very clearly. So now we talk about colors. Colors, you will ask me, squid are colorblind, but why do we need colors then? Because colors are important. Different colors have different wavelengths. Different wavelengths create, it will lose its shade at different depth of the water. So I'll show you the wavelength of different colors. So the red color have the long wavelength, and the blue color have a short wavelength. Colors with the long wavelength, they have less energy, and they are less frequency as well. So they tend to be unable to penetrate deep into the water. As a relatively shallow water, they tend to lose its shade of color. So red color, they'll lose it totally lose its shade of red at about 5 meters of water. It becomes a pure black. As for blue, you see why is our sea blue? It's because that blue have a short wavelength, and if it's a short frequency, it tends to be able to have more energy to penetrate deep into the sea. So I'll show you the color chart to better explain it to you. So as here you can see the colors of the rainbow: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. So red, as we mentioned earlier, have a long wavelength, so it has less energy. So at a relatively shallow, you'll lose its shade. So as it progressively, our jig, let's say it's a red jig, it progressively sink down, it progressively turn from a red color to become a darker red, to become a pure black in the deep, in the sea at a relatively shallow. So therefore, to create a silhouette, red color is a very important color to create a silhouette. It's one of the best color to create a silhouette. That is why red color, you can use it day and night. It's because it is the first color that loses shade and become a pure black color that will stand out in the black and white. Alright. So by understanding the color, then you will say, why do we need to use different color? Let's say orange and yellow. For orange and yellow, the sun has an orange light, and when it shines on an orange jig, it brightens the jig, the orange tone, to become much brighter. So as it sinks down, it has more time to sink from the top to the bottom before it turns pure black. So during the process of sinking, it creates a more natural. That's why you see a lot of people say, oh, blue jig is good, it's more natural color. People tend to create a natural looking puget jig. But for us, that is not because the jig looks like puget. It's because the color tone of the blue or the orange is actually create a natural tone when it sinks. So let's say normally without the sunlight, we might get the jig much darker gray when it sinks down in a black and white shade. So this is the normal color, let's say. So when it sinks down, it's from a mid gray, darker gray to become black. But if you use the orange light to shine on the orange jig, you get a more natural color. So you become a lighter gray, lighter, darker, and darker before it turns black. So why would you say this will look natural? It's because in a bait of in a school of bait fish, this is what we're seeing of a school of bait fish. There's a different tone of colors. So you see a light silver and dark as well. So in a black and white, we'll get this different type of shade. So if you use an orange jig during the sunset or sunrise as well as the afternoon, it gives more time for the color to turn to black. So it will mimic this type of bait fish when swimming up and down the column of the water. Therefore, a jig that you match the sunrise and sunset, you'll create a more natural color to attract squid more effectively. So finally, jigs have two material. One is the external cloth, that's where the design is. The other one is where the more important part is the internal material. So the internal material, we have different type of foil as well as different type of effect for it. So for jig with a red foil, internal red foil, it is a very good jig to use for day and night. If you have internal red foil with a black cloth externally or other colors cloth, you'll create a very good silhouette, because red is the first color to lose its shade. Then we have gold foil. So gold foil, you'll say, why would you need gold foil? Gold foil is because that during a afternoon sun, you reflect the UV to the cloth, and in return, you'll create a UV effect, a UV silhouette on the cloth. That when it sinks, it creates a silhouette at this UV. And also, because it's gold in color and the sun have a gold shade, when it shines on it, it tends to be more natural when it sinks down as well. And we have silver foil as well. Silver foil, it works similar to gold, but this one is to purely reflect the UV rays to charge the cloth up to look more natural, to create a UV silhouette. So silver is for bright sun during bright sunny days. And we have glow body. Glow body acts as two effect. A lot of people tend to say that, oh, we use white jig with a glow body, we can use it in the morning, it's very effective, but they don't know why. So we are teaching you why. So a glow body, how do a glow body works? A glow body requires a light source to charge it up. So when they hold the light source, you slowly release the energy to create the light. So with a glow, if you charge it up with a normal torch, you'll glow at night, a bright light to attract the squid during the night or in the dirty water, so it works. But in the day, why do a glow jig work in the day? In the day, it's because you charge it up with a UV. It acts as a vessel, so it stores the UV light into it, and you'll create a UV silhouette. So a glow jig will work and you create a UV silhouette once it's charged up with a UV rays. So do not be afraid to use a UV glow jig in the daytime. Then we have our reflective jig. Reflective jig acts similar as the silver foil. It reflects the light source, the UV light, to the material to create a UV rays. So, but usually tend to be the material that we use for the UV with a reflective body internally is more transparent. So the cloth is actually more transparent as well. So you reflect not only to the cloth material, you reflect to the external casing of the jig body as well, so to create a silhouette. So it's important to understand this so that you can choose the jig that's more effective. So at Tsurio, we have a wide range of squid jigs. So we're artistically designed through our designers. So we actually hand design and they are copyrighted internationally. We also have design protection for some of our jig in Australia, so it's specially registered as well with IP Australia. So this is our Dragon series. Our Dragon series have a head and body separation. It tends to have a head, a design, as well as a body. The reason is that, as mentioned earlier, squid tend to attack the bait through grabbing the head of their prey. So what we do is we create a target for the squid to grab. You see a lot of companies have jigs that have a red head and a white body. That jig is very famous and is very effective. And this is a similar effect. So we have the head to create a target for the squid to attack, and the hair pattern of the dragon is to create that it looks like the head part is injured, so it's bleeding. Tend to create a more realistic effect, because during a black and white, this shade of different color shade in the hair will actually create a different tone of black and white. So that way you create more realistic, as well as the scale pattern to create a more additional realistic look to it. And different jigs have different foil as well, so to create a different silhouette and as well as to glow. So these are the glow jig, and some are silver foil, some are gold foil, as we mentioned. Different foil have different purpose. So these are our unicorn jigs. Our unicorn jigs have create patterns to mimic like injured prey. So the wings of the unicorn, it looks like the side of the bait fish have a torn flesh, so that it has fluttering flesh that it looks more injured to attract them. So then we have our yin yang series. Our yin yang series, if you're new to squid fishing, it's best to choose this series. It's because that a black jig with a red foil, it works day and night, clear water as well as dirty water. And a glow jig, it works same as well. During the day, you'll create the glow jig will store the UV and create a UV silhouette, and at night you'll create a glow, so it will work day and night. So if you're new to squid fishing and you do not want to spend a lot on different type of jigs and you do not know which one to choose, this series is the best for you. It works day and night. And this is our prawn series. So our prawn series are to mimic their natural prey that we would like to let them see that this is what they actually feed on. That's the jig design is actually based on the prawn as well. So we add an additional pattern to actually look to be more realistic as well. finally, we have our super UV neon bright jigs. These jigs are UV coated, so in the morning it will be very effective to create a UV silhouette. So this one will be very good during the daytime, as well as night it actually glows as well. So with the additional UV coating on the cloth, it actually would double down to create an even more effective during the day. So different jigs have different effects, so it's best that we do. Why is our jigs more effective compared to other companies? Because that we incorporate not only the design, we try to create different effects. With one jig we have multiple effects to attract the squid, not just the look, the pattern, the effect of the body, internally, externally. So these are all the effects that create a jig to target the different vision of the squid. So you need more multiple effects in one jig so that you can target all three of their vision. So the more vision you target, the better the squid can see. At Tsurio we have so many type of different squid jigs, from glow, silhouette, red foil silhouette, as well as UV jigs. So which jig to use at which time? So we have some recommendation, but if you would like to be more specific, feel free to contact us. But now we just give you a general idea. So for daytime, sunrise and sunset, because we have sunrise and sunset tend to have orange color and pink tone, so we opt for jigs that have orange and pink tone. You can opt for jigs that have glow or red foil. These jigs are with red foil, you'll create a silhouette. This jig glow, you'll create a glow during sunrise and sunset. As the pink tone as well, you'll help create a more natural color during the sunrise and sunset. Next, we have our everyday jig. So these are all-day jig. You can use day and night as well, because these jigs target all the squids different eye vision, target their silhouette vision, as well as they target their UV and glow vision. And this is the midday jig. Midday jig in the afternoon, the sun is bright, so these are neon jig will create a UV silhouette, because why? The UV coating will absorb the UV and create a UV silhouette. And this is a gold foil jig, and green color is very good during the day, especially the water is clear, and blue as well. Why? Because green and blue is the two colors that can penetrate deep into the sea because of their wavelength. With that, as they slowly sink down, it creates a more natural effect from light gray to a dark black at a more progressive state. So it creates a more natural look. And this is the night jig. If you want to target a squid silhouette vision, you opt for these jigs because it has a red foil and a black cloth. That way you'll create the best silhouette in dirty water or clear water. It will still work in day and night. So this one, at night time, if you want to target the squid black and white vision, we will use that. But if the water is dirty and if you want to use glow to target their glow vision, to create a jig to stand out and curious during the night, use the glow jig. So these are the white jig, pink jig, blue jig, and white. These are have a glow body internally. So the color will help as well, depending on the day of the time as well. So if it's a clear water, use a blue glow jig that will create a more natural sink. And if it's a sunset, you want a glow, use that as well. So these are the jig that we are opt for at night. So don't forget, if you really need help to be more specific on which jig to be extremely effective at certain times, feel free to contact us and we'll let you know and give a recommendation based on your requirement. So for technique wise, we have a few techniques. So egging technique, the most basic one, so whipping. So that's to transfer the energy from the top to the bottom of the jig. So you do a massive whip to get a jig to jump as well. So once it jump out, give it time for it to sink back down. So the other technique is when you see a lot of bait fish or garfish when they're being chased by bigger fish, so you need it to dart around. So what you do is, when the handle is facing up, the head is facing down, so you alternate it, up, down, up, down. And what will happen is your jig will go left and right. So what we do is, so that way your jig will go left and right. Then give it time to sink down as well. So for both technique has to be more subtle, because they go after king George whiting, grass whiting, where they are bottom feeder. You don't have to do, you can do all the starting technique when it's especially in the afternoon where they are more cautious. You can go subtle technique to mimic what king George whiting is swimming around at the bottom of the seabed. So you just go tap tap, wind a bit, tap tap, wind a bit. Just mimic the king George swimming around looking for pippies, and then swimming around looking for pippies. Then that's when they come and attack it. So currently we are fishing in at 2 meters, so the water is relatively shallow. So we are going down the size of our jig from 3.0 to 2.5, and that way that you give it more subtle sinking and slow as well. So that way that you give more time for the squid to attack. If it's on 3.0, it might sink too fast, and when it's on a drop, it will be too fast for the squid to attack. Also, it's prime afternoon at the moment, so squid are more cautious. They're not in the feeding frenzy. So that way, using a smaller jig, you have a more opportunity to catch them as well.
There you go, master.
There you go, finally.
But they're here. That's the main thing.
With a black head, white body. That's going wrong.
Kono dragon with a red form, so create a silver.
So it's definitely the color, because we are using different types of colors across the other side, and we're just experimenting on the other side. But you know, your color, because you've chosen a particular one because of the sunlight.
That's right.
Right.
And also because we're targeting the black and white vision of the squid.
Right.
Because it works day and night. That's why we are using the black cloth as well.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Bring him closer. Okay.
What do you reckon, master?
Yellow banana. Right.
You said it. When this guy starts, he starts. Mate?
Yeah.
That's a good shot.
On the way back.
We know they're here. The banana again. Oh. Slime. Somebody's happy. The banana. Yee-hee.
That's with the green.
Aurora unicorn.
That's a good one. Oh, it's on the green.
That's dragon. That's a dragon. That's a good shot.
Nice. Oh, Pablo's just on.
Take it.
Double hook up. Double hook up.
Yes.
Cheers.
Okay, for those who are still watching, Chien is going to give us a gift. And for those who are watching this video, you can comment anywhere you see it below. Of what's going to be the question, Mike? What's the question? What do you reckon?
We have one question.
One question.
With 2 answers. So you have to give the both answer correct to get it, alright?
Okay.
So the question is, what is the shortest wavelength and the longest wavelength color? You have to release the color, the 2 color, in the comment, and if you get it correct, and within the month,
Within the month, we will use all of those winners that we're going to put them in a hat, and we're going to call you back.
Yep.
And you're gonna draw the winner.
Yes, sounds
it's as
good.
simple as that. We're gonna do another video for that with the winner. And what's the gift? Limited edition.
You'll get 1 of each. The size 3.5 Year of the Snake, limited edition snake, and the Year of the Dragon from last year, limited edition, but in size 3.5. And this specially hand designed by a Hong Kong designer, a towel, a limited edition as well. So you'll get 1 towel as well as 2 3.5 jig, a limited edition dragon and a limited edition snake.
Well, so if you want to be in this competition, we're gonna give 4 weeks from the day we release this particular video.
Yeah.
Okay.
Make sure you be in it to win it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you have to be in it to win it. Just answer the questions. So the color of the longest wavelength and the shortest wavelength, which colors are they? That's all you have to do, and then we will contact you from the system or from your account, wherever you are. Well, you're gonna leaving us a note, and we're also gonna do a video with the winner in about 4 weeks. Let's put it that way, after the video's been released. So
it's a wrap for us. Thanks for Tony and Funnel for inviting me to this wonderful boat. And today we managed to cover some of our Tsurio squid fishing concept. And this is our result. Check it out. Funnel managed to use all our jigs, different colors to suit different conditions. So he will manage to master the skill to utilize the Tsurio concept to fish for squid. And as a result, we got a special gift for Funnel.
Oh.
He mastered the master class for Tsuriou fishing. There you go. That's the reward. Thanks for inviting me, and we look forward to having more fishing sessions together.
Thank you.
Thanks so much. That's the wrap for us. So don't forget, go check out the Tsurio website for our amazing jigs that catch a lot of squid. We are the effective squid jig expert. Catch you later. See you next session. Bye bye.
Oh, baby one, we're gonna release him. That's right.